I can sort of say that was my moment where I was like, I need to do this for the rest of my life, or I need to be in this game for the rest of my life. Being at the F2 Academy with seeing Jeremy Lynch and Billy Wingrove and what they have obviously built throughout the years, that was more something that I was prioritising over pro footballer. And I was like, I was now questioning in my head, I was like, do I really want to become a pro footballer, or do I want to go down the social media route? Like, what do I want to do? Picking up the camera then was probably my first moment where I thought, okay, like social media could be a thing for me. I was getting like 100 views right at the start, not even that, maybe like 60, 100, and I was thinking, oh, it's all right, like it's not too bad, I'm getting something. And then I posted a challenge. It was partnered with Monster Energy, and it was something that Jeremy was doing, and it was like, the definition, all I can say is the definition of aura is Thierry Henry. Like, you're looking up to Thierry Henry and you're like, hey man, like, I love you and I love what you've done for the club and I'm an arsehole, and you want to say absolutely everything, but you can't.
I don't prefer watching Ronaldo, but I think I prefer Ronaldo as a person, like the work ethic, the grind, the graft. Like, it's inspiring to watch.
Okay, so who's the GOAT?
It's a tough question. If I had to choose like who's a better footballer, I would choose.
Is there any times where you've turned up to a shoot and you've been like, I can tell that this baller was just told that he needed to do some media today and he didn't want to be here.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit,
Do you know what? I think
vibes are off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I think we did one with England. And we had.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Gooms podcast. Today we sat down with Louis, a creator who works alongside some top athletes and even works with the Premier League presenting one of their shows. We spoke about Louis' upbringing, working with professional footballers such as Thierry Henry and Roberto Carlos, dealing with hate online, and much more. Thank you guys for the continued support. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Enjoy the episode.
To be fair, I'm really into my cold therapy, man. I love my cold therapy. Like ice baths and cold showers and yeah. Probably gets you, like, for the day, sorts you. I don't know if you're into it at all.
No, I am. I know that cold showers are actually harder than doing the ice baths.
They're tough.
They are tough. I've been in stages of doing them and not doing them, but I do like my warm showers. I've done cold therapy before a few times. The gym that I used to go to, they had an ice bath, and I do it quite a bit there.
Nice.
There's like a few other places I've done it. I would do cold therapy on a regular basis if I actually had an ice bath. Right. I don't want to do the ice shower. That doesn't really interest me as much.
Have you not got an ice bath?
Nah, not yet.
No?
Have you got just like one of the glow ones?
No, man. I say it's homemade, but I just got a wheelie bin and cleaned it out. I literally like 2-3 weeks ago cleaned it out, just filled it up with cold water, and I change it every week.
How'd you get in?
I just get a stool, just like we've got a stool at home, and just climb into the bin, literally into the bin, 3 minutes and get straight out.
3 minutes is solid, bro.
No, maybe.
Yeah, man. Shoulders under.
Yeah, 3 minutes is like the sweet spot, isn't it? That's what everybody.
3 minutes is. I think like a good time is like 10 minutes per week.
Yeah.
So if you're doing 3 minutes a day, or you're already smashing that.
Is it every day, 7 days a week?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, I haven't been doing it recently, and I need to change the water
because it's freezing.
I've been slacking, and it's been free, and I've had a cold, so maybe that's my.
What you have to remember is this is when no one else is doing it, bro.
It's the best time because no one's doing it. It's true. It is true. But no, man, it's good. Like when I sort of done my ankle, I sprained. We'll get into that, but I sprained my ankle about I'd say, when was it? September last year, and I was out for a good while. And yeah, man, it was just like my therapy was. I was told to do like hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. So I signed up for like a spa, and I was just doing like sauna, ice bath. That was literally my strategy, 3 times there and back, every day. And like the sensation that you feel afterwards, after that whole month, I did it for a month straight. And it was incredible. Like you'd come out and you just feel like you could start your day properly, and you just felt like you were floating. Mate, it's great. It's great.
There's this guy that he was actually a podcast guest. He lives in Manchester, and there's this place that he goes to called Contrast.
Okay.
And what it is they've got saunas and ice baths in there, and there's like a little cafe as well. Like that to me is super appealing. Like spend a Tuesday night in Contrast doing ice baths and sauna. Like, that would be banging.
Yeah.
The thought of like, I train first thing in the morning. The thought of waking up and like going for a run is bad enough, but then having to get outside and do the ice bath.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if there's stuff down London like that, or it's just
No, there actually is. I've got some pals that live in London that are very big into fitness, and they go to, I don't know whether it's just a spa, a gym, or like a hotel spa, like one of those type of. I don't know what it is, but they go and they do sauna and ice bath.
mate, because
somewhere in North
nowadays, like if you go into like a David Lloyd,
They've got
or something like that, but yeah, they've got it there, but
our one doesn't have a cold plunge.
Does it not?
No, not a cold plunge.
Ah, well, the ones down, I don't go to David Lloyd, but they're so expensive, man. It's like £150 a month. I'm like, whoa, man. Like, come on, man, help me out. Like, but no, man, just if you try it, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, it's not for everybody. But yeah, I love it.
This morning, it's actually really funny that you said, like, this morning when I got out of the shower,
yeah,
I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, you're a bit of a pussy. You should have done it cold. Like, you should have done it cold, really.
Yeah.
But I hate it.
You don't like it?
I really like, I don't like it. Like, even like now, my toes are cold.
Toes are freezing.
Yeah.
You got your nice warmer there, though. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
I like the showers, I understand, but I actually do enjoy doing the ice baths.
You do?
Yeah. I don't know what it is, the difference, but maybe it's just because I associate my shower time with being nice, peaceful, away with my thoughts, warm shower.
Nice. That's what. But man, sometimes like what I used to do if I wanted to go into the shower is I used to try and reward myself. So I do 30 seconds cold and then just switch it straight hot, and I'm like, I can actually enjoy it now because you're cold for the first bit, so you've gone through that pain, but you can actually reward yourself with a warmness, and you come out and it's like, oh, that's great. But as soon as you go outside, the UK weather's not the best, so you're going to be cold anyway. So yeah, you try and reward yourself. That's how I think about it.
You feel like adrenaline after you do an ice bath, don't you?
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
I remember when we did it. Do you remember when you did it a couple of years ago for your birthday? I remember you were like, "Go on, jump in it with me for my birthday," and then we went.
At the gym we used to go to, I used to go into it not frequently, but like here and there. And like I'd always get Chris to be like, "Nah." Finally, like got him to do it.
It's like, come on, bro, get in.
It was on his birthday, so we smashed our 7 a.m. session, and then it finished. And I remember I was in the shower rinsing off before I jumped in, and I was like putting the thing slowly colder, just to try and get myself like.
Do you know what, man? You just got to go for it.
Yeah.
Like with a plunge, mine's different. I don't really do showers that much no more, but with plunges, it's like deep breath, bang. You got to do it, because if you hold on for too long, or you just dip your feet in, then you put your thighs in, then you put your like torso in, it's game over.
Yeah.
You're already in pain. You know, you just got to go for it. Close your eyes, down you go.
It's that video of me and I'm like this. And then people started saying stuff to me and I was getting pissed off. But it's like, they were, come on, Chris, stop being like that. And I was like, fuck off. Yeah, I was freezing.
I think good, mate, you try it. Get that dustbin out in the garden.
Yeah. It's a good idea. Where did everything start for Louis?
Where did everything start for Louis? Where I am now, or just passion for football, or
I think let's start off with football, bro. Yeah,
from when I can remember, I cast my memory back to I can't even when I was like 2 or 3. I've grown up in a household full of football. You know, like my dad was a massive lover of football. Mum not so much, but she's always used to like. She grew up in Tottenham, my mother, so she was always around the football. Say again?
Is she is?
I don't think, no, she's a massive Arsenal fan.
Oh, right, okay.
And this is controversial because she obviously grew up in Tottenham. It's like, oh, what you did. But I think, obviously, meeting my dad sort of turned the tables and was now an Arsenal fan. So, so ever since I can remember, really, I've just loved football. It's always been football for me. It's my happy place. And it's somewhere I can go where I'm like, okay, like, if I'm feeling a bit down or feeling a bit... then that's what it was. At a young age, you're always sort of happy. You're seeing your friends, you're going to school, we're playing football. But yeah, that's sort of where it started for football for me. It was sort of like, I played for a team near me called Cuffley. And they were my best days, where it was sort of just like, you turn up, you see your friends, you play your football. And we had a great team at the time.
And everything.
Man, it was like school team and football team. It was like you destroyed everybody. It was literally like you go there, you play, you have your friends, and we were all local to each other anyway. So we had a really good team. And yeah, that I can sort of say that was my moment where I was like, I need to do this for the rest of my life, or I need to be in this game for the rest of my life, whether I want to become a pro or whether I I don't know, do something social media. Social media wasn't as big back then than what it is now, or physio or something within the game. But yeah, that's probably where I'd say it started, from the earliest I can remember, probably like where I could stand up, I could play football.
When did you realise that? Because I feel like it's a realisation that a lot of us, and I say us because I'm included in this, when did you realise that, okay, maybe this isn't going to be what I end up doing for the rest of my life? I'm not going to get that contract. When did you realise that? And then also, like, how did you kind of react to that?
Throughout my whole career, up until about 14, 15, I was playing at quite a good standard. And even after 14 or 15, when I did leave Luton Town, was the last pro club I was at, I still wanted to become a pro. I still wanted to do it. But like I said, ever since like growing up, I did want to be a pro footballer. That's what I wanted to be. When I was obviously from Cuffley all the way up to Luton, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to become a pro. I wanted to, obviously I'm a big Arsenal fan as well. I was going to the games, I was watching all the teams. My dad was a season ticket holder. I was watching all the players. I was obsessed, and I was like, I want to become a pro. And I think you're right. I think you do get to a level where you're like, can I make it? Or you're asking those questions in your head. And I bet a lot of footballers have been there. People have been in my position where they're like, am I good enough? And obviously that becomes a certain realization if you're at a club, or if you're playing Sunday League, or if you're still trying to make it. Like, I don't think there's ever a cap on if you can make it or not. I feel like, because you see the Ian Wrights who made it late, like Jamie Vardy, like Tyrone Mings, like there's so many different players who are playing either like Sunday League or who don't play football at all, that got into football and now they're pro footballers. So I don't think there's ever a cap. I just think it's how hard you want to work and how much effort you want to put in. But no, going back to me, obviously I left Luton because of a certain issue. And I just went to play with my friends, because that was, like I said, I just wanted to play the game. So I went to play with my friends, and then I went to a football college, and I was just playing for under 18s. We had a really good team there, and basically our college team was our football team. So we had a really good relationship with each other, and as well as being at the college, I was obviously going into social media, being at the F2 Academy. I should have said that, being at the F2 Academy with seeing Jeremy Lynch and Billy Wingrove and what they have obviously built throughout the years. I wanted to look into the social media world, and that was more something that I was prioritizing over pro footballer. And I was like, I was now questioning in my head, I was like, do I really want to become a pro footballer, or do I want to go down the social media route? Like, what do I want to do? And those other questions are like, am I actually good enough? Like, you're looking at other players as well you're playing against, and you're like, am I better than you? And those questions start to appear. And obviously they need to be answered. So I got to probably around 17, 18. I was playing first team football at that time at a good standard, step 4. And I was like, I don't know if this is what I genuinely want to do. And that was just something from my personal opinion. I just didn't want to play that level again. I think from the transition from youth to men's football is completely different.
Yeah.
And it's just something I didn't enjoy. So that was sort of my transition into the social media route.
Do you think part of being so connected to Billy and Jeremy, like, and seeing what they built for themselves and the success that they had through the social channels, and still getting to kick a ball about for a living, but just in a different way, do you think that kind of was a motivator for you? Well, I suppose it was a motivator, but also like okay, I can still do what I love, but just do it in a slightly different way and still be mega successful. Because, I mean, if we look at them two guys, they've absolutely killed it.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you look at something like that, you only see the highs, because from a watcher of their content and a viewer, I feel like you literally only see the highs of it, and you think like, oh my God, they're doing like so well, they're smashing it. Like, I just want to be just like them. And even when I did want to become a pro I don't know, I've watched them growing up for my whole time, like from 10 years old upwards. You think like, I'd love to do something like that, but it just sort of like, you think about it and it just goes. And then you see it obviously live in the flesh, and you're like, not saying like there was anything I saw in particular, because they were great guys. Like, they always got on from when I saw them, and they were obviously smashing the game, absolutely smashing it. And I was like, when I was there, like 16, 17, when I was obviously at the college program, I was like, well, why don't I try it? Like, why don't I try it? Like, it looks like fun. I don't have to pay anything. I could just make a page if I really want to. Nothing's holding me back. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's try it. But you obviously do see the highs, and there's obviously lows to working as a duo, or even just working on your own. There's always highs and lows to the game, but it's, I think, just biting the bullet and going for it. And that's just what I did, really.
Yeah.
You know, the F2 Academy, just going back to that, do they funnel people into like actual professional clubs?
There is. I think there's so the manager I've known since knee high, he used to coach me, and he asked me to come to the academy program, and it was something that after school I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I was like, I just want to play football. I was like, yeah, that's just what I wanted to do. So I went there with still a bit of an ambition that if I can make it, I can, but wasn't totally fussed if I did or didn't. And there is definitely, I think if you're good enough, you're good enough. But it was sort of a program where you could find other avenues into the football game, like physios or anything else that you wanted to. You'd more take that road, or if you want to do social media, they've developed it into it now. So, yeah, I think when you get to a certain age, like 16, 17, those college days, I think if you are good enough, you're already within a pro club, or you're already within that structure or form, rather than just a college program. So I feel like, listen, it's up to you whether you want to get to that. So even if I was at college and I really wanted to do it, I feel like you can always go, and it's your stand. It's up to you. It's up to you what you want to do. But it's just not what I wanted to do. So I didn't sort of push as much as I should have if I wanted to do it.
That's fair, bro. That's fair.
Yeah. So it's something like look back now, and I think, like, I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be right now. And
Live and direct on the Gooms podcast.
Yeah, come on, boys. Up the Gooms. But yeah, like, I'm a big believer in that. So I feel like I was supposed to choose this path. So yeah, man. I don't know. Are you guys believer of that, or
Yeah.
You are
definitely.
sure.
There's been some times where we've been down in the dumps with business or whatever it is. It's like everything happens for a reason, man.
For sure. It's not always highs, right?
Sometimes I feel like it can be a bit of a curse though to have that mentality. Like sometimes, I don't know, something will happen within the business. I don't know, a lead might fall through the cracks, or a deal might break, or whatever it is. And it's like, sometimes you can sit back and say, everything happens for a reason, man. It'll be all right. Or you make sure that you fucking fix it.
Yeah.
To make sure that thing works and whatever it is operates in that business. It's sometimes like I have to switch out of that mentality.
I think it is. It's all based down to you. It's you against you, and it's your mentality against your mentality. It's up to you what you want to do. But I don't know. I'm a big believer in God as well. Like, I think He has a path for us. So I feel like if we go down that path, if we want to change it, we want to change it. But it's completely up to you, and you're eventually going to find your next thing. And I think that's the thing. I feel like if you do look at something and think, everything happens for a reason, you shouldn't be thinking about that. It should just happen, and then your mentality can react to that and go on to what you want to do.
Yeah,
you know?
No, exactly. And God tries to test us every day, bro. Literally said this
every
on the
day.
podcast a few days ago.
Yeah, every day. I think that's what's beautiful at the same time. Like, because you're going to get challenged. If life was perfect, everyone would be like, it'd be a happy world. But it's not. It's not. End of the day, like, you're going to get challenges. You're going to have your highs and your lows. But like you said, it's how you deal with it.
To enjoy the highs, you need the lows.
Definitely.
Because if it was a high every day, if everything went well every day, then you're just on this kind of
flat line.
Flat line.
You're plateauing the whole time.
When did you pick up a camera for the first time, bro?
When did I pick up a camera for the first time? It was within that time, at that college program. Obviously, I was seeing what the F2 boys were doing, and I was like, let's give it a go. And it was actually in lockdown, obviously the time when we were going through COVID. We was doing Zoom calls online, and we were taking our phone or laptop or whatever into the garden, and we'd be doing, like, in our own garden, we'd be doing like drills, and it was run by the coach from the academy. Yeah, so we were just like, we were there at the time, and we would just lift our laptop between like 10 and 11 every single morning, Monday to Thursday, and we just do our drills, and then laptop was shut, and we'd do our coursework for the afternoon till about 2:00. And I just decided, I was like, okay, because at that time as well, I was doing one-to-one coaching and also coaching groups. And I was like, I'm not doing anything here. Like from when I closed the laptop, I'm like, what am I doing? Like people were going on PlayStation, like Xbox, whatever, and Nintendo games. That might be you. Yeah, I don't know.
Heavy on the Warzone in lockdown.
Yeah, and like, don't get me wrong. Like when I was a bit younger, I was a big gamer. Like not a massive gamer, but I was a FIFA player. A Fortnite. You know, I wasn't a COD fan, but I was.
Don't worry, bro. We played those.
They were my two games. They were my two games. But yeah, I was like, I can't sit on this game. Like, I haven't got anything to do. Well, how can I benefit? Like, what can I do to benefit the community when everyone's sort of going through this period of time where, like, what is going on? So I sort of wanted to bring my one-to-one coaching or some sort of help towards the community by maybe releasing something that people could do themselves. So with the hour I was doing online, can I do that to help as well? Just completely for free. All I want to do is like one-to-one sessions online to get people out the house. So I did. I set up a page. I called it Football Techers at the time. If you guys know, you know. If you guys followed me from early days, and yeah, it was Football Techers, and it was literally I sort of based my game around technical ability, so that's where the Techers bit comes from. I thought that's where my ability is best, and football because it is, right. And yeah, I just got my laptop out and I was like, okay, does anyone want to join me on a one-to-one, completely free, to get the kids out of the house or whatever from my previous clients, and also just create a page and see what happens. So I did. I managed to get a couple clients, which was great, and they obviously were following the journey. And I never knew it was going to get into, obviously, what it is now. And I'm rambling on a little bit, but picking up the camera then was probably my first moment where I thought, okay, like social media could be a thing for me. Mm-hmm. And that was the time when I was obviously coaching those people on the one-to-ones in lockdown time. And then I just started posting videos of myself, doing skills, tutorials, tricks, challenges, whatever I could, while being in my house. Mm-hmm. I remember doing one. I look back now, and you always, from 3.5 years doing it now, you always look back and you think, what was I doing? Yeah. And it was like a challenge where I sort of did. It was a challenge where I did kick-ups through my house. And I just stuck it into a top bins that I had in my goal. And I was just like, someone give it a go. Like, this is like through the house challenge. Does anyone want to give it a go? And like, I had a few people that did it. But you look back at it now and I think the quality, how I looked at the time, I was in, must be like a jumper, like a black jumper, I had like white shorts on and pink boots or whatever. I was just like, Lou, you look a mess. And it's completely different to how I'd film anything now. But there's obviously a journey and I've come to where it is. But yeah, that's probably the first time I picked up the camera and I thought social media could be a thing for me.
When did you start to get a little bit of traction and a little bit of attention from people?
Yeah, I posted a video and I was getting like 100 views right at the start, not even that, maybe like 60, 100. And I was thinking, oh, it's all right, like it's not too bad, I'm getting something. And then I posted a challenge. It was partnered with Monster Energy, and it was something that Jeremy was doing, and it was like, you had to like kick it up in the air and like touch your foot, and before it came to the ground, it was like you do one, then you carry on doing kick-ups, boot it in the air, and then tap your foot twice, and I did like 7 or 8, and I beat the record, and I was the only one to do it. And Monster Energy got in contact with me. They sent me some like drinks and bits and pieces, and I posted that reel on TikTok, and it did like 3.5K, and I looked at it and it was going crazy for like 10 minutes. I say crazy. Only hit 3.5K views, but
when you get that algorithm, like when it starts, when it's on your side, and it's like, oh god, my god, you
gain 10 random followers, and I'm like, yes, like get in there, and I'm like, you guys now want to be part of the journey, and that 3.5K meant so much. And I look back at it now, and I think like, if I got 3.5K now, I'd be a little bit disappointed to what it was back then, and it meant so much. And then I think my full transition period to what you were saying was Billy Wingrove. He kindly invited me down to a shoot with the F2, and it was to help them, whatever it would be, help film, to collect some footballs or whatever it would be, sort of like a run around. And Roberto Carlos was there, and it was actually at the pitch near to where I live, about 20 minutes away. And I thought he was trying to recreate his free kick, and I thought it was going to be like him just trying it. And then like I looked to my left, and Roberto Carlos had just walked through the door, and I'm like, what is he doing in my area? Like what is, and like this guy like
legend of the game.
Legend of the game,
Yeah.
like global superstar. Played with the best, and I'm like, what are you doing 20 minutes down the road from me? And yeah, the video happened, and I just off chance before even knowing he was going to turn up, I just thought I'd give it a go before Billy turned up, and I actually did it. I'd actually pulled it off, and I'll show you guys the clip after. But there a free kick of where he bent it around the wall. I think it's against France for Brazil, and he fully just went around this whole side of the goal, round the wall, and just bent in, hit the post and went in. And I did something similar. I'm not saying mine was better than his because it was nowhere near it, but it was like very, very similar. And I remember posting it, and 433 reached out to me.
Sick.
Like I don't know what they're on now, probably about 70 million followers.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. And they reached out and was like, can we repost your video? And I was like, man, I was running around my house. I was buzzing. I was like, what is going on? Like, haven't even reached like 5K followers yet. And what the hell? And I think everything, you look at your views, you look at your followers, you look at who's reaching out. And at that time, 433 was massive, and it still is now.
Mm-hmm. I feel like back in the day though, like as a younger lad, like 433 was
Solid.
the football.
It was the page,
wasn't it?
It was the page, and it still is now. Like they're growing ridiculously. All like I said, and it was the page. I think it was like F2, 433. These are the guys, and obviously I had the privilege of being quite close to the F2, and obviously 433. And I was like I said, I was running around the house. I was like, what the hell? Like, what? They can't surely use my video. And I see him post it, and it was like, I'm scrolling. I'm literally refreshing the page every 30 seconds, and I'm like, oh my god! Like, I'm seeing my followers count go up, and yeah,
Tagged you and everything, right?
Say again.
Tagged you. And
Yeah, they tagged me in the video, and obviously from a tag with 50 million followers, you're going to get like a half decent amount. So yeah, I was just like refreshing. And I think that was the moment where I was like, I've got to keep doing this. I've got to keep posting videos, and I actually really enjoy it. Like, I actually enjoy doing this, and I don't think it takes too much work out. Me being a bit lazy and thinking like, oh, anyone could go down the park or whatever and go and film a video. And I think the algorithm's changed now to what it used to be.
Yeah, massive.
And I think it was a lot easier maybe to get views back then to what it is now. And like I said, I look back now, and I think the quality of my videos are completely different to what they would be now. But yeah, I think that was the moment where I was like, that changed where I was like, I want to do this.
Yeah. I just want to say, before we even connected for the first time, one of your favorite, your videos that are my favorite, it's the overlapping fullback one.
Okay.
I remember seeing it, bro, and it's just wait. And
It's good. Yeah, no, it's good.
I just had to get it in there because it came to my head, and I was like, bro, that is a brilliant.
It's one that I recently put out. I have to give credit, to another guy that did it as well.
It went pretty nuts, didn't it?
Yeah, he I think his name's Adi Azran or something like that. He posted it, and I was like, I'd love to show my supporters this. It wasn't even a thing of like, because I think when you come to content creation, a lot of people copy other people with like videos and stuff like that. And I just thought to myself, like, how can I maybe do it in my way, or just show my supporters my personality? Because that's what I wanted to dive into and still do, show people more of my personality. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to try it. And it's got a lot of obviously engagement and stuff like that, but people really resonated to it, and like comments of who they think does this in the game and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a funny one, man. It's a funny one.
What opportunities has growing on socials open for you?
Opportunities
Also in the present?
More in the present. There's been a lot. I'm not going to lie. Being able to meet some fantastic people along the way, really influential, inspiring people. I've obviously got the Premier League job. I'm a Premier League presenter now, which is massive for me, and something that I really want to dive into. Like I said, with the personality stuff, like presenting has always been a thing for me, and something I wanted to like talk about football. So I managed to get that, which was great. And like I said, just motivating and inspiring people along the way, going to different countries. Like I'm a big traveller. Like I love travelling, going to like different places across the world. I'd love to do that, and show myself in other countries. Being able to do that, like I never ever thought that I'd get to a stage where, or the position that I could be in right now. I look back now and I think like, wow, like this is incredible. And I never like to take it for granted too much. but yeah, like they're just a couple in general. I'm like, wow, like this is what I'm meant to do, you know. Like I'm happy I bit the bullet and took this path for sure.
How did the Premier League role come around?
One of my friends actually at the academy college program F2. His name's Mackay. Shout out to Mackay. But we really got on. We really got on, and we had a it was like a bond. We had like a trial previous to actually going into the F2, and we just connected. Like he's a great personality. He's a great person, and we just have very similar morals. And we just connected on that day, and we were just friends ever since, going throughout the academy from 16 to 18 throughout the 2 years. And he actually got the job before me. He started doing YouTube as well, and I think there was about 4 or 5 of us that started doing it, the social media stuff, and he was one of them. And he helped me as well get into what I'm doing now. And he got me into a shoot, me and my other friend Ergis, 3 of us actually from the college program into a shoot with the Premier League. And I was like, I didn't know what to expect. It was literally just a shooting challenge with Carlton Morris when Luton were in the Premier League last year. Mm-hmm. And it was literally just 3 different challenges, and we had to ask the players some questions while showing our football ability. And it was like, how can we become a pro? I think that was the name of the video. And he got me in for that. And we did the video. The producers were like, this was great. And the results shown as well. They were brilliant. And then we did another one with Anthony Elanga. What a guy, by the way. He's an incredible footballer, and obviously what Forest are doing at the moment. But yeah, great guy. And not saying Carlton wasn't, but they were both incredible. And did one with Anthony Elanga. And they were looking for someone for the uncut team, which obviously I do now. Yeah. And Mackay was like, have you like Louis? Like, is Louis could be an option like that? And the questions I was asking within the masterclass, the stuff with Elanga and Morris, was something that producers liked, I can imagine. And I went down for my screen test to do the uncut, to be one of the uncut presenters, sorry. And got the job, which is, like I said, something that I've always wanted to do. And yeah, I'm lucky enough to say that I'm a presenter for the Prem.
That's dope, bro. Like for work, you get to not only like turn up and be in these environments, but you get to literally sit down with the guys at the top of the game, learn from them, banter with them, kick some balls around with them. Hey, wait, are you still the uncut's a little bit more formal, isn't it? Yeah, the uncut. Sorry, the uncut format is just like sit down conversation like we're doing now. The masterclass stuff is more like football based or football and talking at the same time. Yeah. That's sort of where like my element shines, I think, a little bit more, because I like obviously the technical side of it compared to as well as the presenting side. It's good to be able to do both, but yeah, the conversations are great. They're great. Yeah. They're really good. Favorite footballers, top 3, go on, that you've worked with. Do you know what I can obviously worked with? Oh wait, what were you going to say? Oh, I thought you were going to say to me like favorite 3 footballers ever. Maybe we'll come back to that. But the favorite 3 that you've sat down with and had a conversation with and chopped it up with. I have to probably give a special mention to Jack Grealish. I think I've done most of my videos with him. Obviously, like, yeah, I think he's the player I've filmed with most. Great guy, like such a great guy. Yeah, one of the lads. And every time sort of we turn up, we just have like a banter together, and it feels special. Like we're just like about to just go and do a normal video. Like it's not like, oh, like I'm filming with, at the start it was, I'm filming with Jack Grealish, like Jesus Christ. And then you build that rapport with someone, and it becomes like sort of like a friendship. It's yeah. So I'd say him. You really put me on the spot here. They should not normally come out just like that. Thierry Henry. No way. Yeah, like I know their reaction would say. I know their reaction. Yeah, Thierry Henry was incredible. What was that for? That was for a. This one. I don't want to get it. No. Do you know what? It was. I think it was Dove. The skincare. And it was at Brentford's training ground. Actually, so weird. It was at Brentford's training ground, and it was for Dove. And I was just a +1, just like and it wasn't like a 1-to-1 thing where I had to shoot with him, because I got rejected before. We're supposed to do something with Heineken, and I couldn't because I was 21 at the time, and so I think you have to be over like 25 to do the shoot. So they told me, do you want to do the shoot? And I was like,
Thierry Henry, like, get me in. And they were like, oh, we can't. So I did get my second opportunity. And he's just, the definition, all I can say is the definition of aura is Thierry Henry.
I'd literally, before you even said that, I knew that you were going to say aura.
Yeah,
He's
mate,
the guy.
like, he'd walk into the room of 100 people and you'd know, like, he's here, you know? And obviously being a Gunner as well,
I was
like,
say, bro, legend.
Arsenal fan, and I got to ask him some questions, and like, you're looking up to Thierry Henry and you're like, hey man, like, I love you and I love what you've done for the club and I'm an Arsenal fan, and you want to say absolutely everything but you can't. But yeah, that was a special moment for me. That was probably one of my favourites. And
what, Jack Grealish tops that?
Probably because I wouldn't say, like, this is just 3 in general. I wouldn't say, like, there's, because, like, everyone's been great, man. Like, it's hard to pinpoint. But and then lastly, I'd probably have to say Roberto Carlos, because, like, he helped me make my journey. He reacted obviously to my free kick.
Did he?
Yeah, he reacted to my free kick. That was at the start of obviously my content creation thing as well. He reacted to the video, and he'll help me get to where I am now. So they're my 3, I'd say, favourite. But there's been so many. There's been so many great guys that, like, I'd tell you and you would be like, really? Like, you'd be surprised, you know, like Curtis Jones, like, great guy. Cody Gakpo. These are like brilliant personalities, great guys to get on with. But yeah, I'd say they're my top 3.
Can I ask you, I don't know if you feel comfortable to answer this or not, but is there any times where you've turned up to a shoot and you've been like, I can tell that this baller was just told that he needed to do some media today and he didn't want to be here. Yeah. And he was a little bit...
Do you know what? I think...
Vibes were off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I think we did we did one with England. And we had Aaron Ramsdale, Jude Bellingham, and James Maddison. And
I would have thought 3 proper fellas.
And don't get me wrong, like, they're great personality, they're great. And I filmed Madders twice, like, Madders is brilliant. And you can tell when you watch him on camera, as well with, like, Jude and Ramsdale as well, they're good on camera.
Yeah.
And you just knew that when you were turning up. But I think there's always challenges with filming with players. There's always, you never know what mood they're going to be in. You never know what's going on in their personal life. And they don't know what's going on with yours either, but you always have to try and put on a front. And so do they if they're in front of the camera. But they always have the power to go, I don't want to do it. But this one in particular, it wasn't so much that they didn't want to do it or it was more of a challenge. It was just like, you could tell after training, some footballers, they don't want to do all the commercial stuff. They just don't, like, and I can understand it. Like, if I was a footballer, sometimes you train your ass off. You want to get into the team,
get some food and get
yeah, man. Like, for Gareth Southgate at the time, you're like, you're putting the work in, and then, like, you get told you've got to go and do 2 hours commercial stuff, like filming, and you're like, I just want to go home. And you could sort of see it on their faces. And, like, there's been other moments as well, but you can see, like,
you got to be there waiting, smiling.
You've got to be there, like, yeah, and it's just like, yes, guys, and they're like, you're right. And, like, and I completely understand it from a footballer's perspective, because I'd be exactly the same. But you do get challenges. Like, we did one on a personal one. That was with me and my friend, but on a personal one, we did one with the Premier League, and it was a language barrier. It was with Endo at Liverpool, and it was just hard because I'd ask him some questions, and he wouldn't sometimes know how to answer them because he would think of something else, or it was just a language barrier between the English and the Japanese, and it was a bit different. But also, fantastic guy. The shoot went really, really well, and yeah, there's always challenges. There's always challenges when you film with footballers, for sure.
Let's put it back to the original question that you thought I asked. I'm here for a bit of football debate. Top 3 ballers ever for you?
Do you know what? I'm going to get a stick for this, but I'm going to go off, like, who I actually saw.
Yeah.
And I'd love to put Henry in there, but I wouldn't be fair because I haven't seen him play. But I know, like, he's probably one of the best players in the Premier League. Probably, if so, the king of the Premier League.
My FYP
that's probably going to get a lot of stick. But
my FYP is low-key filled with players, like, gassing Henry up recently.
Yeah. But I'd say that I've seen, I think personally, it's, like, down to me, I think Messi is the best player of all time. That's down to me. Messi and Ronaldo, are we talking about just Premier League? Or are we talking about, like, this, mate? I could go. There's so many. There is so many.
If I just said to you, the best 3 footballers, no details, no intricacies.
Okay.
Like that's
Okay. Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, then obviously the two in there, and
This is a big one because
this is huge, man.
The first two.
This is huge. Oh, mate, this is so tough. I'd probably say that maybe I've seen
Saka.
Saka. It's a good one. Let's just do Arsenal because I'm an Arsenal fan. I'll say
No,
that.
no, you can't.
I'm joking.
Cheat, bro.
Let's go with Kevin De Bruyne.
Wow.
Just something a bit more. Yeah, I'd probably say those are the three. I think he's probably like, if so, the last 5 years, I'd say he's probably one of the best players to ever play in the Prem.
No Neymar. No
Listen, man, Neymar's great. Like they're brilliant. I would if it was Neymar, I'd have put Suarez, Iniesta. You can't cap it at 3. I had to do some.
The way that I just thought of it in my head is like who genuinely made me the most excited growing up watching.
Yeah.
Say Sanchez now.
I actually was going to say Sanchez. I was going to say
Alex
Messi.
Sanchez.
I was going to say Messi, De Bruyne, because whenever I used to watch City when they were, because obviously I know that they're having a tough time this season.
Yeah.
But when I sit down and watch them with my old man, I'm just like, these guys are unplayable.
Yeah.
Like they're just so good. And then I was going to say Sanchez, the way that used to get me out.
Alexis
of my
Sanchez,
seat.
yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good
the
one.
way that used to get me excited watching Arsenal, bro. It was just.
Do you know what, man?
He'd
There's
get
a lot.
me out of my seat, man, screaming.
Yeah.
Like he was, because we didn't grow up with the golden era with Arsenal.
No.
It was like tough, and he came and like he saved us. Like I know we only won the FA Cup with him a couple times, whatever, but he'd score so many goals and just do so many ridiculous things that would genuinely make me excited to watch football.
For sure. And like for me, I don't really watch a lot of football outside the Premier League.
Same.
Like for me, if I'm being honest, I think the only time I really watched the El Clasico was when Messi and Ronaldo were there, and I don't really watch anything other than Premier League. So that's why when it sort of comes to top 3 or people I've watched or on TV or live, I think Kevin De Bruyne has got to get in there because you just watch that type of player and it's like he doesn't do anything wrong, or like the impact he has on the team. And obviously what Man City have done is ridiculous, like treble winners and 4 or 5 trophies, like Premier League titles within 5 years with Pep. So it's he'd definitely be in there, even though hopefully they don't finish above us this season.
Who's yours, bro?
I'm trying to think who my number 3 would be, and I can't.
Do you know what I did love? Sandy Cazorla, man.
What a guy!
Sandy
The clip of him when he's
Cazorla.
taking the corner and he turned to switch
mate.
feet. And he just,
He was at the Emirates the other week.
Yeah. And like you look at him and he's just like, he's a guy you just want to you got to give him a hug, man.
Yeah,
Like
he was a fan favorite, man.
he was great. But yeah, number 3, that's it's a tough one for you.
I would say if we're going off of like what you said, get me out of my seat, and someone that's going to bring excitement to you when you're watching them. There's a few Champions League nights when I can, hand on heart, say like I was watching Neymar just free roam and make some top players just look stupid.
Neymar.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good, mate. It's a good 3.
I don't think the stats do him enough justice, and I don't think the way that his story's kind of ended does him enough justice.
Sure.
But when he was on it, it's just those little ones where, and it's just sending people like left, right, and centre. That's the first one that comes to mind. I feel like I'm going to watch this back and I'm going to be like, how did I miss him?
Well, that era, man, where it's like MSN and Ronaldo, Bale, Benzema, that was
Bale, fucking
I was going to say,
kills me to say.
I think like probably the genuine top 3, well for me anyways, is like would be Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar. But
they'd have to be in there, Messi, Ronaldo.
But as well, I didn't watch enough of them to be like, oh, wow, like they got me so.
You just
excited
know,
to watch
though,
football.
don't you? You just know that they're the best. Yeah. And I don't think. I'll throw this question over to you guys. Do you reckon there'll ever be another 2?
I don't think anybody can. I mean, the closest thing that we had was your Mbappe and Haaland coming through the last couple of years, and they've just proven to us how hard it was what them two did.
I feel like eventually there will be. Like it's like records are there to be broken, aren't they?
But then what was the 2 before Messi, Ronaldo? There wasn't a standout. That's what I'm saying.
Would you say Zidane and Ronaldinho maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
But my dad always used to talk to me about Maradona. He loved watching Maradona.
Yeah, I'm too young, man. I don't know.
No, same.
But yeah, my dad's always said as well. Like those guys, Maradona.
I feel like records like they're there to be broken, though, aren't they? I feel like someone, whether it's in next year or 10 years' time, like someone will come and he'll fill the role that at least one of them.
What's
playing.
like what
I mean, like
Ronaldo-
Lamine
yeah.
Yamal at the moment at 17 is.
He's ridiculous. It's like what Ronaldo wants to do as well. Like he wants to like get to like 1,000 goals or something. I'm like 1,000 goals. Like
The thing is, I back him.
do you?
I
Yeah.
actually back him.
Yeah. I don't think he will. He said like, oh, we'll see where my career takes me. But
He's going to
he's
the next
too
World
much
Cup.
of an athlete. He's too much. He's
Bro, he's
hard
going to
work.
the next World Cup, I'm telling you.
You reckon?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, that is fun. It's Ronaldo. That's one for the comments. Will Ronaldo be in the next World Cup?
Bro, I'm telling you right now, Ronaldo's going to the next
How
World
old
Cup.
is he now?
I want to say 40. He's not 40. I think he's 39.
37. Hey Siri, how old is Cristiano Ronaldo?
Oh, he's 39. I
39,
thought he was 40, yeah.
Oh my God, he's 39, but his birthday is the 5th of Feb. So he's going to be 40 in a month.
No way.
And he'll break 1,000 goals if he does. Hopefully he does. At 40.
See, the thing is, that's my goat.
So, and your goat. This is so it's 1-1. Your goat. Who's your goat?
I preferred
I-
Messi as a footballer, but like as I've grown up and matured,
Ronaldo.
and the type of person I am, I don't prefer watching Ronaldo, but I think I prefer Ronaldo as a person, like the work ethic, the grind, the graft. Like it's inspiring to watch.
Okay, so who's the goat?
It's a tough question. If I had to choose like who's a better footballer, I would choose Messi.
Okay.
Just 'cause it was something magical about watching him, and I'm not like the most technical football fan.
No.
I just enjoy watching the game, especially
Yeah.
like, as I've grown up. But watching Messi was a magical thing to do.
It was.
Whereas Ronaldo didn't do that.
I've never seen him
Although
live.
he was still a great player.
Never seen him live. I so want to see him live still.
Ooh, Messi.
Messi. I've seen Ronaldo, not Messi.
Do you see Ronaldo at Arsenal? Like,
Man United when he came back. Yeah, we beat him 3-1 at the Emirates.
I was trying so hard to get tickets for that, but
and he scored, so I was alright. Yeah, I was alright. Yeah.
Did he sue on us as well? I think he did as well.
Yeah, yeah. He did it. It was 1-1 as well, so I think he did. Yeah, he did.
I don't know what it is for me, but like growing up, I wanted my hair like him. I wanted to have boots
Everything,
like him.
yeah.
I wanted to have my socks like him. I wanted my top in the front with the lace out the front, like from the shorts. Like everything I wanted to be like was like him. And I can sit back and say like, yes, technically Messi probably brings a lot more to the table. Yes, he's won more. Yes, his stats are probably better.
Yeah.
I can get that, but there's something that makes me always want to defend Ronaldo, and I don't know what it is.
Why can't people leave it as they're the best?
Yeah,
They're both the best. Like, why can't they both be the greatest of all time?
Like I was, you know, when they went out of the Euros,
Yeah.
I was sat in bed, like, really had a bit of a panic on, bro.
Really?
The penalties, yeah. And when he missed the one in the game as well, like, bro, I thought I could have cried.
He's that much of a Ronaldo
Bro,
fan. I love that.
nobody can have that effect on me. And I'm not really like a fanboy person. You can throw me in a room with a lot of people, bro,
Okay.
and I'll be cool. But I'll fanboy over Ronnie all day, every day, bro.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit, bro.
Chris needs to meet Ronaldo. He needs to. That's yeah. To be fair, that is iconic. That is iconic. That is the one.
You know, the only thing about that ruins it for me is that Henri was the one that gave it him, and you can see that he's a little bit pissed.
Yeah. He's gonna be, isn't he?
Because he said something, who is the real Ronaldo?
Yeah.
There he goes.
Yeah.
It's R9, it's
see
not
that.
Cristiano.
Yeah.
I think it was actually one of the CBS shows, by the way. An amazing show.
Oh,
Have you
so
ever worked
funny.
with Micah?
No, I haven't. I haven't done any of them actually.
Micah is. What,
Obviously,
what
apart from
was
Thierry.
yeah.
Apart from Thierry.
Micah, bro, he makes me
Oh,
absolutely.
he's
die.
hilarious. He is hilarious. He
Is that something
brilliant.
that you could like see yourself going into, like that punditry? Is that like the goal?
Like, I would say it's the goal. Do you know what? I've never really thought about punditry. All I'm thinking is obviously, I know it's similar to presenting really, but when you're on a live show, like TV is something that I'd love to be involved in. But yeah, just talking about football, like having the conversation like we're having, you basically have on live TV, but you are live. Like you can't edit it, you can't take it away. You're live. So yeah, I think it's a bit scary. Like sometimes you can't give your full opinion because there's either people are going to come for you, or you're always going to have some sort of stick or someone that's going to go against you. But definitely love to. Yeah, for sure.
I can really like see you just from your energy. Like this is the first time that we've met in person, but like your energy is like kind of contagious, and I can really see you. I mean, I know it's probably a bad time to mention them, but Chunks and Philly and like the prime time Foot Asylum, kind of those type of videos.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd be really, really well suited. alongside someone like a Chunks that maybe wasn't very technically gifted, that brought humor in other aspects, and then you were the guy that would actually find the top bag.
Yeah, Chunks has got decent tech, bro.
Yeah,
he put one top bins.
I think I think it's with Son, isn't it?
No, one with Son, and the other one was with Arsenal. It was with like Kolasinac and
they all turn around like
Mkhitaryan, I think, and he put it absolute stanch. Yeah, I remember that.
You've actually just reminded me of a video I saw not too long ago. I think it was actually Billy with Harry Kane.
Oh yeah,
and the way that Harry Kane hit it.
Yeah,
and I was just like, I must have watched it like 4 or 5 times. I was like, that's how you strike a ball, lad.
Yeah, and like even like going through like the ranks with like at the college, you'd sometimes think always, and I know the questions are always asked between Billy and Jeremy, but how many takes and how many hours does it take? But genuinely, being honest, their technical ability is insane.
Are they that good?
They are ridiculous. Yeah, like you wouldn't, like a ball would come in and they'd try the most outrageous thing, and it would be like the ball would come in, you've got to spin and like volley at top bins, and it'd be like we're there for like 20 minutes, and it's like 2 hours, 3 hours down the line. You think it's going to take like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Like, no, man. Like some of them obviously are getting it through like the smallest hole possible in the world, or I understand they take, but yeah, man. Like some of the things you see them do like live in front of your eyes, I know, because I know they get a lot of stick of this takes you forever and this takes you forever, but I have to back them, man. They are.
You're always going to get that.
Jeremy Lynch gets a lot of stick lately, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I think
the whole Arsenal thing.
Yeah, he does. He does get a lot of stick.
What Arsenal?
He said that there's a clip. I actually watched the Q&A that the F2 did like back in the day. And Jeremy Lynch said that he was like, why he got released from Arsenal was they said to him he on the ball technically he was the best at the club, and like the year that he said he was there was like Henri, Bergkamp, Vieira, Pires, and everyone. And then they said like, we're going to let you go because off the ball you're the worst at the club. And like at the moment he gets loads and loads and loads of stick for it.
Yeah, and even through his own content as well. Like
I think he's brilliant.
If I'm being honest, I think he's the best content creator in the country. For me, being honest.
Yeah.
And I think his versatility. He doesn't have just one avenue. He has the football.
What about
he has
Rasta dad?
The personality. He has the savage dad. Yeah, man. He has savage dad. He has football. He has stuff with cars like Red Bull, like everything. Like he's
he makes
brilliant.
good YouTube content as well, man. Like I remember, like even just his vlogs doing like his,
and it gets a lot of hate, man. He gets a lot of hate, and it's painful to see because I'm actually a good friend of his, and I film with him most weeks, and like he's a great person. He's a great person, and when you know someone personally and you can see the stick that they're getting, it's not a nice thing to have like as a mate or as a friend, or like it's like if you were. If someone was badgering you online, you'd hate it, right? Because you're friends. So it's not a nice thing. But when can you ever get in social media and you're not going to get hate? It's impossible.
Bro, if you put yourself in a position where people can have an opinion on you, then you have to accept that.
Have to.
It's working the algorithm at the end of the day.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. I don't think his videos need algorithm hate. Like,
no, exactly. It's how you deal with it as well, you know?
Yeah.
It's definitely how you deal with it. I've been there. You guys have probably been there. But yeah, it's how you deal with it.
You say you film with him on like a weekly basis. Like what are you filming with him?
It's normally like stuff for obviously our socials, like my socials, his socials, his YouTube as well, and something that I do need to start. So Badger on to me this time next year. If I haven't started a YouTube, you guys can come for me because that needs to start. But yeah, man, it's videos like football videos because we're at the pitch. Where we just film for each other and help each other out, and obviously we have other guys that come in as well. We all just help each other. It's like a little football group we've got there, and we all go down to the pitch twice a week and help each other build.
I hate to make the next question about like Jeremy again, but how much of an inspiration is he to you, based on first of all like the content that he creates, how good the quality of what he does, also like the footballing stuff, the nostalgia of him also being one of like the OG GOATs, someone that you grew up watching, that I think a lot of us grew up watching. Like to be in and around him and see how he works, and like how much of a positive effect does that have on you and your content and your strategy and your...
Yeah, definitely. I think I don't want to leave Billy out of the conversation because I think he has done it equally as well as as well, because like I used to sort of help him with his edits and help him film and whatever. So I think they've both had a great influential impact on me becoming who I am now in my social self and having my own content page. But obviously I genuinely do see, it's a fact, I see Jeremy a lot more. So when I ask him so many different questions, like, and he probably thinks like, oh, it's like, come on, man. Like, but I think I'm proper like going on to him. But when sort of you are talking to the best and talking to one of the best in the game, it's really insightful, really impactful on me wanting to become a creator like him. Obviously, we're all unique and we all have our own strategies and we all want to be different to each other, but the tips and tricks and stuff like that, listen, I'm nowhere near his technical ability and what he does. But to hear from the best is always, like I said, it's a massive impact on me. And it's something that I'm privileged to have. And I'm so grateful to be able to be in that position to film with him and have his expertise, and to be able to put that into my own content is something that, like I said, I'm really grateful for.
If you said to me, bro, I want to create a football content, fun, valuable page, I need someone to go and take inspiration from, that's who I would say.
Yeah.
And like the fact that you have access to those guys is just so sick.
And do you know what it is? I feel like a lot of people, I think throughout my whole career, I've always said like, oh, you're so lucky to be in the position you are. And
you create your own luck.
You literally taken the words out of my mouth. Like, I think you create it. I think you as a person, how you portray yourself, I think my life could be totally different if I was an absolute knob. Like,
Facts.
Or I went to like, I probably wouldn't be here, you know, like film with you guys, film with Jez, like film. If I was an absolute knob, I wouldn't be nowhere near where I am. So I think it's how you create your own luck is the positions that you put yourself into. And I believe that's what I've done. And it doesn't cost to be nice, man. It doesn't cost to be nice to people. It doesn't cost to help someone out.
Facts.
You know, so if you can give that, if you can say, oh, how can I improve? I always wake up thinking like, oh, how can I do better than I did yesterday? Like, what can I do? Can I wake up 5 minutes early? Can I read one more page in my book? Can I get in the ice bar 5 minutes longer or 5 seconds longer? It might be a bit difficult.
5 minutes, I was going to say, bro, your toes might fall off at that.
30 seconds.
I say, isn't it like 8 minutes? I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to go over.
Yeah. But like, yeah, or another 30 seconds. I feel like when you think about it like that, like how can I improve? Mm-hmm. So that's obviously what I think about. But yeah.
To like a young aspiring content creator or somebody that kind of looks at what it is that you've built and was like, I would like to do that. The same way that maybe you did when you were entering into the content game, looking at what obviously Jez and Billy were doing. What would your kind of advice to this person be?
It's a brilliant question. Bite the bullet and go for it. I think that's the main thing. A lot of people question in their head whether, I'm at a full-time job, or I'm not going to earn enough money, or you never know if you don't bite the bullet and go for it, you know? Obviously, it's so generic, but hard work. You guys know what it's like. You guys are hard workers. But at the same time as me, like, I wouldn't have got nowhere near to where I would if I didn't put the work in. And consistency. Like, so be consistent. Like, go and be better than the next person. If you aspire to be like someone else, what can you do better than they're not doing? You know, whether it's like I said, whether you're posting another video a day, or you just don't know where to start, or find a hobby or something that you really enjoy and you're passionate about. Mine being football. I'm sure everyone has a hobby. And if not, I'm sure you'll find one, you know, like, and if that's something that you're really passionate about and you really want to go and talk about or want to put content into, then go and do it. I don't think the hesitation helps, because as soon as you hesitate, the more time it takes, and then the more you overthink it. And I just think, like, go for it. Like, go and do it. Why not? I think that would be my main thing for someone who wants to get into what they're like, a social media path or something, or they don't know what to do. I think that's always the main question in their head. What do I do? But if you just post something, you never know. Like, I thought it was going to be a coaching platform when I started, and now, like, I'm going to play out in Mexico, I'm meeting all these footballers, or I'm going to LA, or I'm doing whatever, traveling, playing football, meeting these amazing people to get to where I am now. I never thought it'd be there. So I started doing something that I thought, okay, cool, I could get into this. And then look where it's got me now.
Just figured it out along the way.
Figured it out, and like I said, man, you track to the everything happens for a reason, you know.
Yeah, that's dope, bro.
So
Social media's literally changed your life.
I'd say so. COVID wasn't a bad thing to do for me.
Cool. Go on, H.
I was just going to say that was a lovely answer, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Sorry.
Thank you. But I do want to switch it because I'm obviously on the Gooms pod.
Come on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I would say you talk like a presenter.
Thank you.
This whole episode as well.
It's good, bro.
Yeah.
I'm trying. But no, like, Gooms, thank you for having me for starters as well. And I should have said that right at the start.
No worries, man.
Like I said, I remember saying to Chris, but I completely forgot. Like, so much going on. Why Gooms? Like, how's your friendship start? Like, what? People want to know, man. People want to know.
Chris is better at this story.
Okay, so the name Gooms itself comes from the word gumbaro in Greek, which you would refer to your gumbaro as your best men. The plural word for gumbaro is gumbari, and they would be the guys that are at your stag do. You can flip it for the feminine, it's a gumera, that's your first lady, and the ladies on your hen do. Our podcast, our business is built upon the morals that we have been instilled from our culture, and also friendship. H has been my best friend for more than a decade now. And we thought, what better way to kind of, I don't know, represent our culture and what it is that we stand for: friendship, respect, loyalty. These things that we have both been brought up in and around, I think, because of our culture and our upbringing. And then also friendship, which is effectively what this has all been built up of. Two kids that always had similar interests, always wanted to, well, I say always have similar interests, maybe didn't always have similar interests, but always wanted to be the best, always wanted to grow and to be curious and to make money and to create a business and just whatever it was, that's what this is all built up on. So, and as well, like Gooms Pod, Gooms Talk, Gooms Choose.
Yeah, I like it.
It just made sense. I mean, we probably miss out on a lot of like SEO stuff when people are searching.
We've gone back and forth about changing it quite a while, but
yeah,
we haven't had the conversation for
a
decent period of time, so we're probably going to stick with it for now.
But yeah, that's in essence where the name came from. And to be honest, starting the podcast, I wasn't really too sure. I didn't bite the bullet, and H was in a very much like, fuck it, come on.
Let's do it.
And he kind of pushed me and motivated me to come out of my comfort zone. And I suppose we just put the cameras on, ordered the kit, and never really looked back. 105 weeks later, bro.
I feel
That's
like
amazing.
A lot of parts of my life, like leading up to when we started the podcast, I was just doing like fuck it a lot. Like I started making content. Like I was getting like all this hate and stuff, so it kind of made me almost armored to it. Like it just didn't bother me at all. But like, whether it was YouTube or like starting making content on Instagram, fitness content, like whatever it was, like I was just like, oh, fuck it, like let me start. So I don't know, when it came to the pod, I was like, bro, like I want to start something, like, we have to do it. It's just, I was like, I'm gonna fucking do something else if you don't want to do it with me. It's like, oh
yeah.
I basically made him do it. I didn't give him a choice. I was like, I'm either gonna go do something else or I'm doing the fucking pod.
We were always podcast consumers, but I think we kind of just flipped it and were like, well, why don't we just get on the creating side of it?
Yeah.
And I mean, looking on it now, it's probably one of the best decisions we ever made, because the people that we have been able to sit down and have conversations with, first and foremost, the network that we built with having a platform like the podcast is like amazing. And there's so many amazing people we've met along the journey that help us, that we help, that we're still in contact with, that we've actually formed friendships from. And that wouldn't be possible without the podcast. Also as well, I mean, without sounding like big-headed, but the people that we've kind of motivated and inspired along the way, not to say that there's that many of them, but that message that you find in your DM requests that's like, you helped me so much, or you motivate me to start this, or you motivate me to start creating content, or to start my business.
It's the best, isn't it?
Process.
It's rewarding.
That stuff for me is like, wow.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. As soon as you get that message in, it's like, I've actually helped someone. And I think like even when you think about helping people, it doesn't have to be always the physical, where you're taping someone's knee, or I don't know, someone's cut their elbow, so you're helping them like that way. It's more like of an emotional.
What imprint did you leave on their life?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a mental thing, and it's like, oh my god, like I've actually helped you.
Yeah.
And we've obviously like going into like the mental health thing. It's like how big of a subject it is now.
Yeah.
To be able to like say, oh, you helped me in this way, or like, can you help me in this way? Like, and you have, it's the best. Like you said, it's priceless. And I want to quickly just say, I'm not even the interviewer. I'm not even the interviewer.
He's
sorry.
coming into his prime.
I'm coming into you, but I want to say like hate. You just said there, like you got so much hate.
Mm-hmm.
How did you deal with it? Because I think we all deal with it individually differently.
I've never really been asked this question. I don't really care when it was from other people, and like it was to the extent I've spoke about it on the pod recently. It's the first time that I've ever actually on the podcast was the first time that I actually ever aired like things that happened to me. Like once, so I used to make gym content. I had a gym page called H Gains. I just love fitness, and someone actually called. I got a FaceTime one evening, and like the camera was turned around and I couldn't see anything, and they were just like trying to like take the piss out of me.
Okay.
For making the content.
Yeah.
And stuff like that didn't even bother me. Mm-hmm. Like I was just like. I was like, fucking go away, man. I'm trying to go to sleep now. Like, things like that didn't really bother me. But the friendship group that I was in, when I didn't get the support of my friends, when, like, taking that first step was such a massive leap. Because before that, our friendship group was very, like, if someone did something out of the ordinary, like, we'd all, like, laugh about it in the group chat.
Okay.
And, like, flipping it and then doing my own thing, I was like, oh, like, it's not cool to be that negative guy. Like, I want some support here. And then not getting follows from some of my friends. And I know that that's such a small thing, but it's like, I'm trying to do something. Like,
that's the
why
whole
would you not
point.
support
It
me?
is such a small thing.
Yeah.
Press follow.
And like refusing to do it because I'm cringe and stuff like that. That upset me at the time. I don't really care anymore. Like if something like that happened now, I wouldn't care. But I don't know how I dealt with it was I just carried on making content and just I carried on doing what I wanted to do and not letting someone else's opinion actually affect the outcome that I wanted. Not to say that I went and got the outcome, but if I never took that first step and started my gym page, it would have never led me to start YouTube and then learn how to edit properly. And then from there, it wouldn't have led me to pick up a camera and start doing videography and then go into business with my best pal and then start the podcast. So it's like this one small...
The butterfly effect.
Yeah, this one small decision that I made in bed. It was during lockdown, in bed randomly one evening when I was like, I want to make a fitness page. And everybody was like, people who I thought were my closest pals calling me cringe, then led me on to get into the position where I am today. I didn't think it was cringe at the time, but like, how could it ever be cringe?
What you just said there as well, like, where people that you thought were your friends, and it's like, I've been in the position, I'm sure you guys have been, like you just said there, like, when you're building something and you realise who you actually have there to support you. Your family are always going to be there for you. Family's everything. And obviously your specific friends who are there, if they're there, if they're not, then a lot of it shows you who people truly are. And the people that thought you were cringe and thought I've given you this hate, have actually pushed you to be better. And now you're here where you are now, mate, and you're smashing the game.
Just to clear it up, I wasn't part of this group, by the way.
No.
Just to the people that I know, but
he was part of the friendship group, but he wasn't like...
That's my guy, man.
Yeah, exactly,
Chris
man.
never
Come
did
on, man.
anything like that.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My guy, man.
And now you're both smashing it.
Trying, bro.
Yeah,
No, you're not trying. You're doing it.
I think both of us, we hate it when we see people and they're like, "Oh man, you're smashing it."
Yeah, it's hard.
Especially when
you probably
know,
get it as well.
Yeah.
It's like we're not like it's very easy for you to be like, "Oh, like sit back and reflect, man." But we're very, very far from what we would consider smashing it.
You're walking on the treadmill at the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're warming up, bro. That's what
you're warming up.
Right now,
Yeah, we're on a 3 incline on like a 2.5.
We're not running. Yeah. We're not doing intervals.
I'm
getting the heart rate up.
Honestly, I'm telling you now, you'll get to a level where those guys will keep running back and be like, you'll see them in the pub or you'll see them in the gym or you'll see them and they'll be like,
I think it's already kind of happened.
Yeah, it's already happened.
See, so it's already happened. So you're already winning. You know, you're already winning, which is an unbelievable feeling. And I think that's good as well.
Do you get much stick?
Because
I feel like your content is like there's nothing to dislike about
football's a hard one, you know, because it's like people can obviously come for you personally, obviously your looks and whoever, your family or whatever. And
I think you're a good-looking fella.
No, but whatever, like not so, not like that, but like
game on the pod.
no homo.
But like wherever it be, like, oh, your hair's shit, or can we put her on this podcast?
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Sorry, I mean, I don't know if you were clocked or not, but I've been really foul-mouthed, and I tried to pull it back because you really weren't.
Yeah, no, and it's, cause I don't know, some people do, some people don't, but whether it be looks, whether it be family, or whether it be, it's normally just like, you're shit at football, or something about like my mum back in the time, or like you've got shit hair, or something like random, completely random. And like for me, at that time, you sort of just like laugh, you like sort of like laugh about it for me. But obviously, like I said at the start, people deal with it differently, and people have different like strategies. But for me, man, I just it's a very hard question to bounce back to myself. But for me, they're supporting. When I think about it, like genuinely, whether they're hating on me, they're still watching my content.
Helping the algorithm.
They're still helping the algorithm. So technically, they're doing me a favor by hating, because obviously it's not a nice thing to see. But if I saw them in person, I'd just be like, "Oh, but you watched the video," and they'd be like, "Yeah." And I'd be like, "Okay, cool, my job's done."
Can I give you a different perspective to look at it?
Yeah.
If you saw them in person, I don't think they'd say anything.
No, and
Which is the sad thing.
Even if they did, I wouldn't have time for them, because if I knew, but. Like you're right, a lot of people are keyboard warriors and don't like to say it in front of their faces. But I think if they ever got the chance to do it, that's what I'd say. I think, are you actually watching the content? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, brilliant.
Thank you.
My job's done. Thanks. Like, I don't want to hear from you again, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you're gonna get it. Like you said, if you're in the public eye line, then you're gonna get hate.
You got to take it with a pinch of salt. Keep it stepping.
You have to.
Keep doing your thing.
I just want to say as well, whilst we're on the episode, and as well, sat with you, like bridges have been like reformed with friends of mine where like things kind of happened.
That's
back in the
great.
day. Like they won't be like, they're not best friends, but like just in case anyone's listening as well, like I don't want it to be like I'm bad.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah. But I just wanted to. I'm not that bad a guy.
No, and I can imagine you're not, mad from meeting you. But I had to ask you that question because people, obviously, you're interviewing normally someone else, but I don't know if you've ever come on the pod and talked about yourself. I don't know if you'd ever interview each other. Would that be a thing?
We do like in-houses where it's just us two, but we don't interview each other. Like we might ask each other our opinion on something.
I don't mind that. Why don't we? Because whenever we have an in-house, it's always a conversation.
Why don't we get a guest on to interview us?
I'm joking. But
no, what I was going to say is, instead of like an in-house episode, it's like we do the Harris episode where I would ask you all the questions that I would ask a guest.
That's what I'm thinking.
And vice versa.
Yeah. Because you guys have been friends for so long. You said, is it 12 years you said?
Yeah.
Over 12
it's
years?
Probably coming up to 12 years.
10.
Over a decade.
10. Well, no, coming up to 11 actually.
I was going to say, you're going to...
11. It was 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, we became
exactly,
But for that time, like, you guys obviously know each other to a certain extent, but do you know each other? Like, in that thing of like, you obviously know each other because you've been friends for so long, but would you ever thought like to do this? You come and sit here and you stay there and it's like...
to be honest with you,
I was going to say... So. What? I feel like we know each other pretty inside.
I don't think there'd be anything that he says, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Actually, the only thing, I didn't know up until recently that you couldn't say the alphabet.
What?
No. I never knew. You know it now though, didn't you?
No, I don't. I just, at school, when everybody was learning the alphabet, because I genuinely remember it, I just couldn't be asked. So like ever since then, like, and I'm talking, like I was a kid.
But you're cool with writing and stuff.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
I don't mean to like toot my own horn, but I like to think that I articulate and I write quite well, and I'm
H is clever,
and I'm
bro.
quite smart.
Yeah,
but
you just can't A B C D E
just
F
when
G.
Can't do it.
I don't know the rhyme. Just because when I was younger and it was at school, I was like, I hope that the teacher doesn't ask me because I couldn't be asked to learn it, and then the teacher never did, and since that day I never needed it. Because you don't need it, really. Like I know all the letters, just don't know them in the alphabetical order.
Okay. Interesting. That's cool, man. Everyone's their own.
That was probably
Makes me unique.
Exactly. It's very unique. My favourite
That's
saying.
very unique.
I think back to the podcast thing though. Because I've genuinely thought about me and Chris doing episodes like that before. The only thing that makes me reluctant is I feel like one day other podcasts are going to want to hear mine and Chris's stories together and separately.
So you don't want to ruin it?
Yeah, not so much ruin it, but I feel like saving it for that day, like to make things special, like when me and Chris have really like made something of ourselves.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like genuinely
there will be a time where
will come around.
Yeah, I think they'll like in a shorter way of what H is kind of said is like there'll be a time where we can provide so much more value by sharing the story at a different stage.
Yeah, I like that.
You know,
I like that.
Because every kind of, I mean, we've just entered into a new year and we could call this chapter 2025. And every year for me in the last 23 years of my life have all been significantly different. Mm-hmm. And even the start of this year, the trajectory that we're on in regards to business and the way that we're moving and the partnerships that we've made and the growth that we've got within our team, like I already know that this year is going to be so different to last year.
Okay.
In so many ways, with the podcast, with the business, personal terms.
I think it's how we ended last year as well. It's like there was a new lit fire.
That's brilliant.
We're probably at our lowest low.
Yeah.
To be honest, in the back end of last year. And we came out of it fighting. And I feel like we're slowly starting to reap the rewards of it.
It's great, man. You can save the conversation for my pod then, yeah?
Yeah. This feels really weird, by the way.
It's like, no, it's nice. Like, listen, at the end of the day,
he's come into his element. That's
yeah.
why.
No, but you guys have asked me about me. It's nice to hear it the other way around, especially on camera, because people want to know about your story as well, not just mine. You know.
No, I appreciate that, bro.
For sure.
I appreciate that. What does the ideal next 5 years for you look like? Where do you see yourself?
Just as I mentioned there, like I think YouTube is a new thing for me. Starting my own podcast would be amazing. I think that would be, obviously, like presenting's been a thing for me as well. I think something in TV would be great. I'd love to do something TV related, and I think that would sort of come off of my personality that's shown within my YouTube, because that's the thing for me. Like my content is very much based like of my technical ability and different challenges, and it's not so much.
It's short.
Yeah, but it's not so much like me speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And like that one that you said, the overlap, where I was sort of just like ran, and like that's my personality. That's just like me being funny and me wanting to express myself without any music, without any audio, without any special effects. So I think within the next 5 years, definitely YouTube, something within TV would be great. And yeah, just diversifying myself, like show more of my personality, like get people to know me. Doing more stuff like this would be amazing, like going on other people's podcasts, and as well as obviously starting my own. Yeah. I'd probably say, yeah, they're the ones.
Dope, man.
Wish you the best with it all, man. Genuinely.
Mm-hmm. Genuinely, bro, like this has been a really, really refreshing, I think a slightly different type of podcast to what we normally do. I've enjoyed it. And to you guys at home, I just want to say, like, this dude sat in front of us right now is a gem. Genuinely. One of the most polite people.
Thank you.
H mentioned it to you before. The only guest, I think, that I can remember that's offered to help set up.
That's no throwing shade on any of
No,
you don't expect it.
Yeah.
No, and the other guys are all great.
But it just shows you, like, you're a good dude, man. And good people get rewarded with good things in this world.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Doesn't cost.
It doesn't. Thank you so much for making the trip, man.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it, brother.
Gooms family, thank you so much.
Come on. To the Gooms family, if you're listening on Spotify, make sure to leave us a 5-star rating and a follow. And to all of our people on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell notification on so you get notified every time we release a podcast.
Please do that.
And we'll see you all next week.
Please.
Sweet. Catch us later, guys.
Peace.